I
Hello again, Dr. Miller. How you doing?
never better.
Ever.
Never better.
I love that. I love that. And I love what we're talking about on this one
Yes,
because
you do.
I do. I do. In fact, appreciative inquiry, it changed my life. I
Wow.
absolutely
An 8-point assignment, life changer. Woo.
game changer, life changer. I love this approach. I love this approach. I when we've been talking about it, we've been discussing it, and I know immediately after I read that little pamphlet about appreciative inquiry, I hope that they're still reading that in the program. It was so easy to digest. It was so easy to adopt in my thinking. I took it right back to my group, to my team immediately and said, we're going to be viewing things through this lens. Let's talk about this and what it means. So I found this to be extremely applicable. I love that shift from we're not looking for the problem and what's happening and the this and the that, but we're looking at what our strengths are and what is going well so that we can build on that and grow and really develop even more. So I'm going to be quiet for a second because you know how much I love this. I could go on forever. Here I go. I'm being quiet. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think for the future doctors in the house, we want to
Yes.
talk about. So, in the assignment, it's our understanding, and based on what we can see, you do need to use certain words, certain vocabulary words. And when I was in the program, I can remember some of my amazing cohort team members and even myself. You're looking at these words like discovery, dream, design, destiny. And in the moment, it can be difficult to see yourself using those specific words with your team or in your corporate arena or wherever you're taking this back to apply it. So I think one of the things we talked about before we picked up the microphones was really, even if you take away and you change those words in real life when you're applying this, it's really just a proactive strength building activity for the corporate world. And
Love
we're
it.
clinicians at heart, right? So we are always looking for strengths. We're always trying to build on what is already working
Right.
so that individuals can be more successful. And it's really taking just a slight change in how you think of things and applying it to the larger team. So I think it is applicable. And I also understand if some people are reading this assignment and thinking, no, thank
Yeah.
you, I'd rather not. I get
Yeah.
it. And also, it will be helpful when you are, or even now, if you wanted to try something that just looking through that lens, like you mentioned.
Yeah. No, I love it. And I think you're right. I think as we talked about the language, I also think that when you're applying it, or when you're starting to look at where our strengths are and identifying those strengths within the organization that you're working with or with your team, and then once those have been identified, really, how do we expand and grow and really share and leverage those strengths, right? And the skills or the behaviors that really strengthen those muscles that you're looking at in order to, to bring the organization and the team to a better place. So I love the positive approach. I love that it builds on the strengths. I like your idea about, you know, maybe get past the language because I hear you sometimes if we're thinking of our dream as far as how we want to extend our purpose and how we want to have an impact. um I think when we connect it to the purpose, I think it makes sense for everybody. But I hear you. I hear you. The language can be a little flighty.
One of the things I'm thinking, and we talked about this on our podcast, that we talk about talking to the individuals that are really in the trenches. So we always say, don't forget about the fry guy.
Exactly.
So when you're talking about the individuals who are arguably making the most difference, right? And not in those leadership positions. And you come up to them and you say, what if you could dream a dream of this position or this store? That might be a little overwhelming. You may need to adjust
Sure.
this language to your audience The other thing we spoke about was how this is helpful when you're leading leaders.
Oh,
So if a
gosh.
leader comes to you and they're saying, we'll use the fry guy example, we'll use the conveyor belt example, that this isn't working on station 6. Nothing's working.
Nothing's
Okay,
working.
is nothing working? Is it pervasive? Or can you go back and find an example of what is working and do a little bit of analysis on how you might be able to extrapolate that to others? So it's also going to give you some space when you're leading leaders to say, actually, go back, come with some stepping stones of what we may be able to build on, because we can't just like burn the whole house down.
Right. I love it. I love it. And you know what's funny is we started this conversation, and you know how much I have embraced this philosophy and how much I enjoy it, and I've taken it back and I use it as a cornerstone for all of the teams that I work with. And you, so it was going to kind of be you talk about it, and I can't. There's nothing left to say. You were so eloquent. You put it out there in the best possible way. I think I was overexcited about it, and you just put it out there in the most applicable, beautiful way. It is really, I say a game changer. I think I said life changing in the moment. So
Okay. Well, future doctors, you heard it here first. These 8
yes.
points, whew,
Change your
really
life.
blow you away.
I love it.
Good luck. We hope everybody succeeds in this assignment, and maybe you even take a little bit of it back into your real life and adjust it and share with your cohort members.
You for sure will. Taking it into the positive. Bye.
Bye.